We got a little bit of everything today. Howdy, howdy, American Texan here. Welcome to the channel, American Texan Reads, where we talk about comic books and all the things we love about the stories, the art inside, and what's coming out weekly at comic shops, as well as what's arriving monthly through crowdfunds. And we've got a little bit of everything because my comic shop had a big consignment sale and had a lot of great board games, including some classic ones. So today in the Wednesday Warrior Pool Show, which I just totally made that title up, we're going to look at all the things I got from consignment, as well as what I got from my pools, a couple off-the-shelf picks, and the crowdfunded comics that came in this week, and we've got several of them. So first, let's jump into the consignments that came in, which included a huge board game collection, and I got something that just brought back a ton of memories. So y'all know in the South here, we like to not necessarily call our grandma and grandpa. We like to call them whatever you called them when you were like babbling on your belly when you were a baby. And so my grandparents were called Meemaw and Pawpaw, and Meemaw had some games that looked just like this. So when I saw these old classic Milton Bradley games, these old dominoes, and these old checkers, I swear my Meemaw had a package just like this. And then it came with the original board here. Now this wasn't much, this was like $5, but just for the memory, I want to bring this to the Christmas party and play this with my cousins. I think that would be a lot of fun. So I got a little classic board games here, as well as a game that's been on my Amazon list for quite a while, and that is Betrayal at House on the Hill. It's kind of a hard game to say, but this is actually the second edition. Now, this is opened, this is used, but all the pieces are inside. Most importantly, the books are inside. This is a really fun game if you got a group of friends, and you basically play co-op for the first half, and then there's an event in the game that flips, and one of the players, based on the scenario that you randomly choose, becomes the bad guy. And so then it becomes one versus many, and you try to have the rest of the group try to outrun the betrayer, or so to speak. It's been a while since I played it, but this is a really fun game. This was $15. And so I thought, you know, it's $60, $70 new, but knowing that all the pieces are in here and I opened it up and everything inside is well cared for, dude, I'll take it used every day. There were a lot more board games, but I didn't want to just blow my whole budget this week, so I will be hopefully buying some more of those. If you're not interested in this, let me know. Otherwise, you know, I won't show it next week. But on consignment as well, I got a couple of issues of Conan. These are actually the first, if I get my... Here we go. So here is the first appearance of Zula, which is that shape-shifting character there. He was just in a recent Conan book by Zub, and as well as the first origin storytelling. So got both of these for $5, and this was a interesting first appearance. So this is half, hey, I want to read it because I thought Zula was an interesting character, but also, maybe these, I can resell these later on if Zula becomes a person, because I think Conan's going to go somewhere. They got to do it. They got to do it well. Better than Red Sonja, I think. I don't know. Do you want a Conan movie or redo? Let me know. It'd be a pretty cool video game. Also, a few trading cards came through. I got a couple cards for some family members that are big Rock fans. Nothing special here with these. These are just spot foil, The Rock, the People's Champ cards here from some flair. But this is pretty cool. I got a lenticular here. I believe they're still called lenticular. This is a Final Fantasy. This isn't for me. I'm going to try to trade this or just give it to someone that enjoys this. Aki Ross. I don't know, but I know these for Marvel are pretty rare. I don't know if these are rare, but it was kind of a blind buy for just a couple bucks. But for another trade bait here, I thought this was pretty cool. Pretty good condition here. I want to get it in a sleeve. We got Lady Death. This is a promo card. I'm not sure if it's from a campaign or a trade show. I'm going to look it up, but it's kind of an impulse buy. Maybe I can trade it for a Marvel card that I want. But this one is for me. This is a classic Nolan Ryan Whataburger trading card. And if you don't know, Nolan Ryan's one of the best pitchers in Texas history, and Whataburger is the best hamburger in Texas history. So there's the back there. So when I saw this, I was like, hey, American Texans got to have a trading card of Nolan Ryan in Whataburger. And that's all I got on consignment. And this week, I had no trades pre-ordered. And it just feels wrong leaving my comic shop without a trade in hand. And just so happened to come out, and I talked myself into it. I got the new Green Lantern Rebirth Compendium. This one is written by, I think, three writers, Jeff Johns, Dave Gibbons, and Ron Mars. It's got a whole lot of things. And then one of the clerks or workers at the shop was kind of geeking out over it because she said there's some issues in here that are very hard to find. They're not reprinting them. They're not collecting them again. She said, like, if you want to read those issues, this is the best place, at least if you're not reading online. So I got it, and I love compendiums. I love that you get these huge, thick things. To me, they're a lot easier to read. I don't like taking the big old hard covers to my chair, or obviously you don't travel with them, but I really enjoy the compendiums. And then of course they're much more budget friendly as well. So this is my trade that I got for the week. All right, on to Marvel. Just 2 Marvel books this week because there's not really anything on my pull that comes out weekly from Marvel. We've got The Will of Doom. I think this is a mini series. I'm not sure, but this is the aftermath of One World Under Doom. I'm continuing to read it. I hope I'll like it. This is by Zdarsky. He's hit and miss, and unfortunately a lot of miss with Marvel me. So we'll see how it is. Hopefully it'll be good. And then just for collector purposes, but hopefully it's good, Marvel Winter Break Special. This is basically the Marvel Swimsuit Edition. I do love the Marvel Swimsuit trade dress there. And I do have an almost complete Marvel Swimsuit collection. It's very modest, unlike, I guess, the covers, but it's very modest, and it's just really for completion. So I went ahead and got this one. Tony Fleece did not do a very good job writing it, or I should say Marvel Editorial did not let Tony Fleece do a very good job writing the summer swimsuit edition of 2025 that came out earlier this year, but hey, we'll see if the winter can do any better. That's it for Marvel, just those 2 books. Now, DC, we've got quite a bit here, starting with the KO tie-ins. Flash number 28 by Mark Waid. This is already on my pull list. It's okay. The first 2 issues are okay. It's a little timey-wimey, but not in the greatest of ways. Really kind of starting with the story and working backwards to how do we make everything work instead of actually having everything kind of cohesive and be together. There we go. I struggled through that one. If you can't hear, I got a little bit of a cold this Christmas week. But this is the Flash number 28, and it looks like we got Flash versus Green Lantern. I don't know. Is that maybe... They can't be absolute Green Lantern, but why would they be fighting? I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out. And then I got Superman number 33, Lex Luthor versus the Demon. This should be interesting. Extragon that's his name, right? The Demon Extragon. He's not a character I really too care for. Some of his poetry I think has gotten worse over the years. This one's by Williamson, right? Yep. And we'll see how this is. I think we're all expecting Lex Luthor to win because I think the final 2 will be Luthor versus Superman. But we'll see. Hopefully that's a good fight. And then I went ahead and got Red Hood versus the Joker. This one's written by Snyder. So hopefully it'll be good. These covers by Corona are awesome. This one, I don't know. I kind of expect the Joker to win. Maybe we'll get into the Joker versus Luthor in the next round. But I think it'll be good. We'll see how that goes. So that's all the Fight Month tie-ins for this week that came out. I went ahead and got. And then 2 Absolute books. Martian Manhunter by Dennis Camp comes back this week with number 7. I am enjoying this series. I think it's a lot of fun to read. Some people don't like the trippiness, the over-the-top, like, obviously went to a head shop before you wrote this. And look, normally with Dennis Camp, I am right there with you. However, Martian Manhunter, it really brought me in. I got the number 1 for the foil cover, and I read it, and I liked it, and I kept reading it, and I kept liking it. So I'm enjoying that one a lot. A big one I'm anticipating to really enjoy, we got Absolute Wonder Woman, number 15. This is the Batman tie-in. Batman visits Gateway City with Absolute Wonder Woman, and I am looking forward to this one. You got a team up of the 2 best Absolute superheroes right now, so hopefully it'll be good. And I think in this one we get to see Hayden Sherman take on drawing Absolute Batman, so I think that'll be a lot of fun as well. And then a few more regular monthly pulls coming out of DC. Green Lantern number 30 by Jeremy Adams. And this one says on the side, side by side with Batman. So, yeah, we'll see how that is. Now, this doesn't have Fraction co-writing, which is interesting. So, I know last week when Green Lantern appeared in Superman Unlimited, they had Adams co-writing it because he writes Green Lantern. So, very interesting that they didn't have Matt Fraction co-write this with Adams. So, I don't know, but we'll see how that goes. And it is with that newer Batman, that new blue Batman outfit. Didn't care for the book, but I do like the outfit, so hopefully that will be good. And then we got DCKO tie-in Justice League Unlimited number 14, The Terrific 10. I'm not getting the hype on this one. I think it could be good. It's just not as good as Mr. Terrific in the Superman movie. It's just kind of some happenings with not much moving forward. It just feels a little bit like Mark Waid's writing this, right? Like they told Waid, hey, you got to tie it in because it's the Justice League Unlimited. but he's just kind of telling a couple of battles. Not really too much is happening. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if that gets any better. Last DC for the month: Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong, Volume 2, Issue 6. Okay, Issue 6. I think this is the finale. Superman and Supergirl are kind of having their powers phase in and out, and a lot of the other teams are having to step up. I'm enjoying it, not as much as the original, but I am still enjoying this one, and I think this will close out the series. And finally, rounding it out with the indies, we've got quite a few indies here, starting actually with Gargoyles Winter Special 2025. I've never watched the Gargoyles. I don't know anything about them. So why did I pull this? Well, every once in a while, our LCS owner will give what we call a guarantee on a book, which means she enjoyed it so much. If she thinks you'll enjoy it, she will give you a money-back guarantee. So you get the issue, you read it, and if you don't like it, you can totally take it back because she was wrong, and you get your money back. I'll tell you this, every time she makes a guarantee, I always get the book, and I've never brought it back. So, hey, she says this was very enjoyable, a lot of fun. So, hey, I'm going to check it out. Gargoyles Winter Special. Hopefully you don't need to know too much about the Gargoyles to enjoy it. And then we got Capes number 2. This one is by Robert Kirkman. Tie-in, offshoot, I don't know what you call it, from the Invincible universe. I have not read number 1. I need to get back into it. So I will read number 1 this week along with number 2 that just came out. And Final Boss by Tyler Kirkham. Final Boss number 2. I did not get to read number 1, but I just looked through the art of it, and it looks awesome. He is kind of Green Lantern-y with the way his face mask is, but sounds like a lot of fun, sounds like a lot of action, basically like Street Fighter, if you like that kind of battle stuff. And a couple of things from Ghost Machine from Peter J. Tomasi. Hornsby and Halo. This looks like the Christmas edition or Christmas special. I love their holiday issues. Their Halloween issue with all the Easter eggs of the different Ghost Machine characters being dressed up was hilarious. So I'm sure the Christmas issue will be just as fun. And then also by Tomasi, we've got the Rockefellers. Very cool little cover there. We were trying to figure out, is this an homage to an album or what? But in their escape, it looks like the Rockefellers crashed, and they've got the bad guy. I don't want to spoil if you haven't figured out who it is, but issue 11 seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. And then a last one, this is by Maytal Jute, and this is Sisterhood number 5. I think this is the series finale. This is a book, every time I see it, man, it's grown on me. Every time I finish the book, I'm like, how can they raise the stakes even higher? And they do. It is absolutely insane. And now I don't know where they go from here. So this will be a super crazy finale. This might be one of my surprise picks of the year because I'm typically not a horror reader, but man, Sisterhood, I am enjoying. Another indie number 1 that I have not read. I need to read it. This is by Piotrowski. Is Ferocious number 1. I love this cover on number 2. That's a pretty cool little cover there. Honestly, I don't remember too much about it, but if I pulled it, that means I did at one time, and I want to read it. So I need to read number 1 and number 2 this week. Another one that surprised me with how much I liked it, American Caper. This is by Dan Houser, who is one of the writers or the writer for Grand Theft Auto, and this has very much Grand Theft Auto feelings and styles to it. They really do make fun of both sides, and it's just flandered characters of American politics inserting itself into American culture. I don't think who you are, what you believe, there's something in here for you to enjoy. So I really enjoyed issue 1. Let's see if issue number 2 can keep things up. And it is so choice. We've got Skinbreaker number 4, Best Art of the Year, Treasury Edition. I cannot believe more people are not ordering it. I think I'm the only one at my shop ordering the Treasury size. This is absolutely gorgeous. And I love to read for the reading, but the fact that this has both great art as well as the great reading with it, absolutely beautiful. So I'm looking forward to this one. And again, this is like get a cup of coffee, sit at the table, perfect lighting, and just soak this all in. Such a fantastic read. So those are all the books that I got off the indie shelf, but we got some more indies that came in, what I call pure indies, the crowdfunds that came in this week. I got 4, including one that I've been waiting for a long time. Actually, you know what's funny? There's 3 books in here I've been waiting for a long time. But first, a book that I don't remember ordering. I vaguely remember the premise. This is Systemic. It's an anthology with Andy Alves, Kevin Buteau, Simon Burks, Ben Crane, Adam Douglas, a whole bunch of authors on there. But this is like a sci-fi anthology. I believe it takes place after an apocalypse. And it is like everyday stories within the apocalypse. I kind of remember the interview where I learned about it, and it sounded like an interesting idea, so I figured, hey, let's back it. So this is Systemic that came in this week. Okay, and I mentioned I got 3 books here that came in that I've been waiting for a long time, and not so much like they never delivered, because they are on time. I think they're coming in a timely fashion, or they're coming in when they promised them. It's just that I've been looking forward to them for so long. It feels like a long time. Starting with Silence Dogood, this is volume 1. I don't know how I got messed up on this personally. It's my fault. Silence Dogood issue 0 came out on Amazon first. The issue, it was like it wasn't an ash can, but it was like a full-size prequel issue 0 kind of thing, and I absolutely loved it. I enjoyed it so much. And then I don't know what happened. I thought I was following it on Indiegogo, and I never heard anything again. And then I get a message that volume 1 is finished and ready to back. And I was like, what happened to the individual floppies? I don't know. But I went ahead and got the volume 1, and it's finally here. A beautiful foil cover. But this is a lot of fun. Time traveling Ben Franklin. I love time traveling stories. Ben Franklin's one of my favorite autobiographies that I ever read. So to marry the two in my favorite medium, I'm very excited for this one. Another one that I've been waiting for a while, again, because I've been looking forward to it so much, is Escape from Monster Island by Graham Nolan. And I love Graham's artwork. I'm not a huge monster kaiju guy, but this is so enjoyable to just read and soak in all the artwork. And there is a pretty good story inside of here, so I'm excited to finally have this one. And finally, y'all, I told you when it gets here, it's moving to the top of my list. You can fully expect this to be reviewed on Monday. Heroic Tales number 2. Looks like I got a little extra coin there, which I'm excited to get. There are also some stickers on the background and some trading cards. I'm excited to continue to have a fully complete collection of Heroic Tales trading cards by John's Longbox Comics. And Heroic Tales number 2, very excited for this one. I absolutely love. If you didn't read the first one, John does a full commentary where he goes through all the book and the stories he did and actually gives some background information on creating his own first comic. It was an absolute joy to read. I think I cleaned the whole house while I was listening to it. It was awesome. So Heroic Tales number 2, very excited for this one. Just a great homage to Silver Age comics, or maybe Golden Age. I still have a hard time telling the difference between the two. But just a good hero with good stories and an interesting world that he's building. Whoo, we did it. If you can't tell my voice, I got a sinus infection or some kind of cold. I don't know, but thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being here. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year if I don't see you then. Otherwise, subscribe to the channel. We'll be reviewing the big 2 books next, as well as the off the indie shelves and hopefully a crowdfund as well. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Adios.